That slight vibration in your steering wheel is not an annoyance. It is the sound of your tire's internal structure disintegrating at 60 miles per hour, and you have no idea it is happening. Every single day, drivers on normal roads at normal speeds experience zero-pressure blowouts that were entirely preventable. The tires were not new, they were not obviously worn, they had the 5 warning signs we are breaking down today. And every driver who lost control of their vehicle at speed had seen at least one of them in the week before the blowout. We are starting with the one that almost nobody catches until it is too late. Before we get into the 5 signs, I want to set the stakes for what a zero-pressure blowout actually is. A slow flat is a gradual loss of pressure over minutes or hours. You feel the car pulling, you pull over, you call roadside assistance. Inconvenient, manageable. A zero-pressure blowout is instantaneous structural failure at speed. The tire carcass, the entire internal framework of steel belts, nylon plies, and rubber compound, collapses in a fraction of a second. At 60 miles per hour, you have approximately 0.2 seconds between the failure event and the moment the vehicle begins an uncontrolled deviation. That is not enough time to react. That is not enough time to brake. That is only enough time to already be in the consequence. The NHTSA data for 2025 records over 11,000 crashes annually in the United States attributable to tire failure, not slow flats, blowouts. The majority of fatalities in those crashes involve highway speeds above 55 miles per hour. The majority of those blowouts involve tires that showed at least one of the 5 warning signs. The 5 signs we are covering today are not theoretical. They are the documented precursors found on tires involved in fatal blowout accidents. If you recognize any of them on your vehicle by the end of this video, the car does not move until the tire is replaced. We are going to go through all 5 in order of how difficult they are to detect, starting with the most visible and ending with the one that kills the most people. Because it requires you to know exactly what you are feeling, not just what you are seeing. Let us start with what you can find in your own driveway with nothing but your thumb. Sign 1. The stealth killers in your sidewall. Crouch down next to your front driver's side tire right now and look at the sidewall. Not the tread. The sidewall. The curved outer surface between the rim and the road contact zone. Most people never look at their sidewalls unless they have hit a curb hard enough to worry about it. And that is exactly why sign 1 kills people. It lives on the sidewall, it is visible, and it looks like nothing. What you are looking for is ozone cracking, a pattern of fine, shallow lines running perpendicular to the circumference of the tire. They look like the lines on the back of your hand when you make a fist. In early stages, they are hairline thin and easy to dismiss as surface texture. In advanced stages, they form a network of intersecting fissures that cover the entire sidewall. Here is the chemistry behind why ozone cracking is so dangerous. Modern tire rubber compounds contain antioxidants, chemical additives that migrate to the surface of the rubber and react with atmospheric ozone before it can reach the polymer chains beneath. This is why a tire that is regularly driven maintains its ozone resistance. The flexing of the rubber during use continuously pumps fresh antioxidant to the surface. A tire that sits, a spare, a seasonal vehicle, a car parked for 6 months during a long trip or a medical situation. That tire is not flexing. A tire that sits, a spare, a seasonal vehicle, a car parked for 6 months during a long trip or a medical situation. That tire is not flexing. The anti-ozonant supply at the surface depletes, and the ozone attacks the polymer chains directly. The rubber loses its elasticity from the outside in. In 2026, modern synthetic rubber blends have actually made this problem harder to detect, not easier. The newer SSBR, solution styrene butadiene rubber, compounds used in premium tire manufacturing maintain their visual appearance longer. They look smooth and black and healthy while the internal elasticity is already compromised. The surface stays glossy. The cracks are finer. You need to look harder. This is the thumb pressure test. Press your thumb firmly into the sidewall and push inward. Not hard enough to hurt yourself, but with real force. Hold for 3 seconds. Release. Now look at what the rubber does. A healthy tire with full elasticity will spring back immediately and completely. The surface will return to its original contour without hesitation. A tire with compromised elasticity will show one of 3 responses. It may spring back slowly. You will see the indentation lingering for a half second before it recovers. It may spring back incompletely, leaving a slight concavity where your thumb was. Or on a severely degraded tire, the cracks that were invisible under normal lighting will open slightly under the pressure and become visible as white lines. The rubber is separating at the crack boundary when stressed. Any of those 3 responses, slow recovery, incomplete recovery, or crack widening under pressure is a failing grade. The tire has lost the structural elasticity that allows it to contain pressure. A final point on sidewall cracking that is almost universally misunderstood: tire shine products. The silicone-based dressings that make your tires look wet and black after a wash are petrochemical solvents. They strip the anti-ozonant layer from the surface of the rubber every time they are applied. Regular use of tire shine accelerates the very cracking it cosmetically conceals. Sign 2. Rhythmic vibrations and the harmonic warning. You have felt this. Most drivers have. A vibration through the steering wheel that was not there 6 months ago. A faint hum at 65 miles per hour that smooths out at 70. A shudder that comes and goes depending on the road surface. The standard diagnosis: wheel balance. 9 out of 10 independent mechanics who hear this description will put the car on a balancing machine, add a weight to the rim, and send you on your way. And 9 times out of 10, the vibration will return within a few thousand miles, because the problem was never the wheel. It was the tire. Here is how to tell the difference between a balancing issue and a structural tire issue. Wheel imbalance produces a vibration that is directly proportional to speed. Internal ply separation produces a completely different signature. Internal ply separation occurs at a specific speed band, typically between 45 and 65 miles per hour, and may actually diminish above that range. The sensation is lower frequency, not a buzz but a shudder. A rhythmic, almost mechanical thump that pulses rather than hums. And critically, it tends to be directional. Worse on certain road surfaces, worse on left-hand curves, worse when braking. The internal steel belts in a radial tire are what give it its strength and shape retention under load. When that bond begins to fail, from age, impact damage, heat cycling, the belts begin to separate. That separation creates an area of different stiffness within the tire. As the tire rotates, that zone cycles through the contact patch with each revolution. The result is a force variation. The tire is slightly stiffer in that zone, which means it delivers a slightly different load to the road surface and back to the vehicle each time it passes through contact. That is the rhythmic shudder you feel. If you have felt this vibration, I want you to do one thing right now. On a quiet road at the speed where the vibration is worst, take your hands slightly off the wheel. Does the wheel pull briefly to one side on each pulse? That directional pulse is telling you exactly where the weak zone is. It is also telling you that you are one pothole, one emergency lane change, one sudden braking event away from that separation completing into a full carcass failure. The heat component of this sign is the one that turns a warning into an emergency. Belt separation zones generate disproportionate heat. It is a thermal runaway loop that ends in structural failure. Sign 3. Thermal bulging and the eggshell effect. This one you can see. It is a bulge, a protrusion on the sidewall of the tire that was not there when the tire was new. It may be the size of a grape. It may be smaller. Every driver who has ever found a sidewall bulge on their tire has faced the same mental calculus. It looks minor. How bad can it really be? When an impact, a sharp pothole edge, a curb strike, delivers sufficient force to the sidewall, it can rupture the ply cords in a localized zone without immediately rupturing the outer rubber. The outer surface stays intact. The inner structure is broken. Air from inside the tire finds the path of least resistance through the broken ply cords and begins migrating between the ply layer and the outer rubber. That migrating air creates the bulge you see. The eggshell analogy is precise. The material at the center of the bulge may be 2 to 3 millimeters of rubber. Nothing else between that air and the outside world. The structural integrity of a tire with a sidewall bulge is not reduced. It is eliminated at that specific location. The bulge is not a weakened area. It is a location where the tire has already failed internally. The outer rubber is the only thing preventing immediate air loss, and it will not hold indefinitely. Infrared imaging of a bulging tire during highway driving shows what is happening in real time. The bulge zone heats dramatically. Each flex cycle stresses the damaged rubber further. At highway speed, this can reach critical failure in as little as 20 to 30 minutes. The common mistake, and it is nearly universal, is to confuse a sidewall bulge with a curb scuff. A curb scuff is surface abrasion on the outer rubber. A bulge is a protrusion. Run your hand along the sidewall. If the surface is raised, that is a bulge. Sign 4. Tread delamination and the ghost flap. There is a sound that drivers describe as a thumping from somewhere under the car. A regular beat, like something soft hitting the wheel well on each revolution. It is louder on smooth roads than rough ones, which seems counterintuitive. It appears suddenly and may disappear after a while, which leads drivers to assume whatever it was has resolved itself. It has not. This is tread delamination. A section of the tread compound has separated from the steel belt layer beneath it and is beginning to lift away from the tire body. Each time that section rotates through the contact patch, it compresses against the road. Each time it lifts away, it catches the airflow created by the moving tire. That alternating compression and lift is the thump you are hearing. The physics of what happens next at speed is what makes Sign 4 so lethal. As vehicle speed increases, centrifugal force acting on the delaminating tread section increases with the square of the rotational velocity. When the remaining bond fails, the tread section is launched as a projectile at that velocity. It has sufficient energy to destroy wheel well components, puncture brake lines, and impact following traffic with the force of a thrown brick. The early detection method is the cupping inspection. Run your hand backward across the tread, against the grain. On a healthy tire, the tread blocks feel uniform. On a tire beginning to delaminate, you will feel an inconsistency. Now use a flashlight and look into the tread grooves in that zone. A delaminating zone will show grooves with a rougher bottom texture, possible cracking at the base of the grooves. A thin dark line running along the base. Sign 5. The Zero Pressure Survival Protocol. We have covered the 4 physical signs you can find, feel, and hear. Sign 5 is different. It requires no inspection because it applies based on the date of manufacture. Tire age. This is the most underestimated tire safety factor. The DOT code is on the sidewall of every tire sold in the United States. It is a 4-digit number. The first 2 digits are the week. The last 2 digits are the year. The 2026 standard for tire age retirement is 5 years from the date of manufacture for tires in regular service, and 10 years as an absolute maximum regardless of tread depth or visual condition. Here is the science behind that number. Every thermal cycle a tire experiences, every time it goes from cold to operating temperature and back, causes micro-level polymer degradation in the rubber compound. The antioxidants and antiozonants that protect the rubber have a finite capacity. The plasticizers that keep the rubber flexible gradually volatilize and migrate out of the compound. None of this is visible. None of it affects tread depth. But after 5 years of regular heat cycling, the rubber is measurably more brittle, more prone to crack propagation, and less capable of containing a sudden pressure spike. A tire with 90% of its tread remaining but manufactured 7 years ago is more dangerous than a tire with 30% tread remaining but manufactured 2 years ago. Tread depth tells you about wear. Age tells you about structural integrity. Now the immediate survival protocol. Step 1. Do not drive the vehicle at speed on that tire. Low-speed movement to a safe location is acceptable if the speed is under 20 miles per hour. Highway driving is not acceptable. Step 2. Check the manufacture date on all 4 tires immediately. If any tire is over 5 years old, add it to the replacement list. Age-degraded rubber is unpredictable. It can fail without warning. Step 3. When replacing, replace in pairs at minimum. Both front tires together or both rear tires together. Replacing a single tire introduces a handling asymmetry, especially dangerous in emergency braking. The financial case is the final argument. A set of 4 costs $400 to $720. A high-speed blowout involves emergency roadside service, tow trucks, body repair, hospital bills. The average cost is between $3,000 and $8,000. A blowout incident that results in injury involves the full spectrum of medical, legal, and long-term consequence costs that no number adequately captures. The question is never whether you can afford to replace a tire. The question is whether you can afford not to. Here is your action checklist before you leave this video. 1. Thumb test on every sidewall. 2. Listen for shutters at 50-65 mph. 3. Feel for bulges. 4. Feel for tread cupping. 5. Check the DOT dates. The 5 signs we covered today are not edge cases. They are found on a significant percentage of vehicles right now. Check your tires today, not this weekend, today. If you checked your tires and found any of the signs, drop it in the comments. Share this video with anyone who has a vehicle. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.